As anyone who's been paying attention over the last few years will know, football has really been growing in the US. And right now, it's playoff time in the MLS. So I've come to the States to visit a club with a huge and passionate fan base that is up there with any in the world.
It's part of the sporting culture here.
There's a desire to do more than just kind of sit on your hands and watch a game.
The quality of the support here is really impressive.
For soccer in America, it's unbelievable.
This city just embraces soccer. On any weekend, you go to any field, anywhere, and there's kids playing soccer everywhere.
It feels like a big deal.
One of the greatest feelings in the world.
It just keeps going and going.
I want to check out this city for myself, find out just how big football is getting here, and experience what I'm hoping is going to be another unique fan culture. The Seattle Sounders have already won the US Open Cup and Supporters Shield this season and are looking to complete the treble by winning their first ever MLS Cup.
What people really covet is that championship trophy from the playoffs.
If we accomplish this, we'll be the first team to win all three in the same season.
For a lot of fans, this is the end-all be-all.
They've shown us, the best support in MLS, for the last 6 years. So they definitely deserve this, and we've given them, an Open Cup and a Supporters Shield this year. So to top it off with the treble with the 3 trophies would be unbelievable.
I think it would be treated like the Seahawks when they won the Super Bowl. There'd be a huge parade in the street.
It would be a huge event, something that would be beyond comparison in our country.
When we won the Supporters Shield, I mean, it was such a great moment, and the city was alive.
What is the Supporters Shield? How do you earn it? What do you do with it?
The Supporters Shield is the typical rest of the world, top of the league at the end of the season prize.
It would make us champions anywhere else.
So the shield itself is a trophy that's owned by the fans. It's paid for, designed, and cared for by the fans.
It's a really special, unique thing.
Success on the field is one thing, but as always with Copenhagen, it's the supporters that we're interested in. And it's the Sounders' huge and fanatical support that has brought us out here to Seattle.
ECS is Emerald City Supporters. It's the independent supporters group for Seattle Sounders. It started 2005.
It began before the Sounders made the MLS.
So it began back when the Sounders were in the second division, There's a desire to be active, there's a desire to wave flags and to sing.
You don't have to be an ECS member to be in the ECS.
Yeah.
You need to be there singing and supporting your team.
There's being a fan and there's being a little bit more than a fan.
So what makes Seattle supporters or the Seattle support groups different to other US support groups, do you find?
There's a lot of passion here, and it's not that there's not passion other places, but it's to the nth degree here. We have 48,000, I think, average per game.
In the season finale, there was 58,000 people here, and it was like a disappointment. 58,000 people to watch a club soccer match in the United States, and it's kind of like, It's amazing that we're at this point.
Seattle's always been a big sports culture, so when the Sounders came in, they immediately had a groundswell of support.
We always were there. We just needed the occasion to turn out.
When Seattle came into the league, everybody was very, very surprised, to see a team get that much support.
The thing that's unique about our fans is they don't turn on you. They get behind you even stronger. That's not the case in other cities in the U.S. Certainly it's not the case in Europe.
As a player, it's amazing to play in front of when those fans are, passionate and loyal and stay true to the club. Then, it's one of the best things in the world.
Now, obviously, you know about the TIFO culture in Europe. It's quite big. Does Seattle compare?
I would like to think so. Well, clearly I'm biased, but I think we have the best TIFO, in the league.
You see these TIFO displays, and it's tens of thousands of man-hours. It's incredible that the devotion that these people show.
When they do the TIFOs, you're wrapped up in it, and you can't believe that you're seeing and part of something here that you've been seeing throughout the world until this time.
The first time I got to volunteer with it, I was pulling from down low, and to see it go up, and to know that, a couple weeks ago or before that, you were actually on the ground painting. It's life experience, man, that not a lot of people get to be a part of.
Once you feel that you are actually doing something and contributing to what's happening on the field, you can't find that in any other sport.
TIFO's the best way, honestly, in my opinion, to bring out the newer members. Our players have told us that those things help them dig deep and find that extra energy they need to, like, go above and beyond.
Is there a real personal connection between the fans of the Seattle Sounders organization?
Yeah, they've done a really amazing job. When we ask for assistance at events, hey, I need a jersey signed by a player, can you send it? They'll send it, or sometimes they'll send players. It's very rare that we hear the word no.
Seattle is very much different. I'm sure you've heard that, they have voting rights.
My role is president of the Alliance Council. Okay. The Alliance was started by the club and by Drew Carey, who's a minority owner.
He came here and wanted to form the Alliance Council, which is a fan government that can give direct contact with the ownership, and I'm on that council, and we get probably 3 or 4 meetings with ownership per year where we can express directly to the owners our questions and concerns.
Every 4 years, we're entitled to vote on whether or not the general manager keeps his job.
The Seahawks copied from the Sounders, setting up their own Alliance Fan Council. So it's pretty neat to have the NFL franchise see what a Sounders soccer franchise is doing and say, oh yeah, let's do that, let's try it out.
As well as providing fantastic support for the players on the pitch, the fan groups are also active in helping the community off it.
I'm a founder of Gorilla FC, just kind of loosely formed a group that really focused on building community with soccer.
We're a supporter group that's an Antifa group. So anti-sexist, anti-racist, anti-homophobic.
La Barra Fuerza Verde, man. We are the Latino subgroup of the ECS. We created this tournament for kids, and we have a referee that we could cover. We have a nice pitch that we rent out. The first year we had Freddie Montero show up.
Nothing's better than watching their faces and listening to their star player.
In the city of Seattle, it was tough to find a league that would be developmental and that you could really, if you hadn't played before, you would have a place to play. So we created our own 4-team league. The teams get really into it. They make their own logos and their own jerseys, and
these are
they love
fans
it.
who you'll see in the terraces?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the best part about it.
Make tifos together, play football together, then support your team together.
Yeah.
You guys are onto something. From the incredibly diverse characters that make up their fan base to the lengthy preparations that go into making the choreography in tifo, I really feel that the Seattle Sounders match day is going to show Copper 99 just where football in the US is heading. How big is football or soccer getting here in the US?
It's getting very big. You have more and more kids starting earlier and earlier, which I think is the biggest key.
Seattle is really the epicenter, but the game itself has never been bigger in the United States.
Why it wasn't big for a long time is because kids were getting exposed to football and baseball and basketball so early.
Previously, everyone who played soccer, their parents didn't even know what soccer was.
For 25 years, you had to apologize for being a soccer fan around here.
I'm Australian, I know that feeling. 20 years ago, it feels like Americans didn't know that Dortmund were releasing these giant banners that...
They didn't know what Dortmund was.
Yeah, okay. So the primary question is, how have they found out?
The internet. It's 100% online. It's 100% YouTube.
I'm a big fan of Dortmund, and their displays are, in my opinion, the best in the world. I personally will watch a lot of videos of their making ofs.
They're bringing it and exposing Americans to what's going on in the world. You walk around town and you see people wearing Sounders shirts, you see people wearing scarves, you see billboards, you see all this stuff. The MLS club is just part of the daily life.
I'm just glad that I've got to see this part of it, in my lifetime, because I've seen the dregs, I've seen nothing, and now I'm seeing this. I say a thank you every time I walk in that stadium, because I didn't know if I'd ever see this day.
ECS and what they generate with their support and their songs and their chants and the pogoing and everything, it's just exciting. You don't get that in other sports.
And when we start to match the world-class product on the field with what we can do in our stadiums, if you think it's arrived now, it is really just gonna blow your mind.
The NASL, which the Sounders took part in, folded after a few years of fanfare. Is this the same with Seattle Sounders and MLS, or is this?
No, this is here to stay. This is not going anywhere. The city loves it.
It's not going to go away, not in our city.
You once again.
This will be the Western Conference semifinal, and there's 2 legs. The first leg was at Dallas, and it was tied 1-1.
It's going to be loud. It's going to be raucous. We're going to have the march to the match here. Sure. We'll get inside the stadium. It's we don't waste any time.
Okay, and so with about an hour until kickoff, we've come down to the area where we're told in their thousands the Sounders fans will march to the match, but we've still got a bit of time until then, so we thought in the meantime we'd go to the pub where we've been invited to enjoy a few pre-game drinks with the ECS.
The light boats around women and children first. One thing on my mind.
So you guys started ECS?
A long time ago, yes. Well, I came to a match at age 8, and a bunch of Vancouver fans came down here, and I wanted to fight them all. I knew that was the life for me back then.
What Eric and I did around 10 years ago, we did our research, and we're like, we're going to bring active, colorful supporter culture to this country.
I mean, Seattle Sounders, you really are unique. You got a Barra Brava culture, casual culture, and a female capo among 6,000 active supporters. It really is something different, isn't it?
Yeah, the captain and the cat. Hey, 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 oh! 1974 Sounders. No one likes us. No one likes us. No one likes us. We don't care. Go east, young man. There ain't no room for you out west. Go east, young man. You'll never pass that test. Go east, young man. Well, that's my advice. Go east, go east, go east. That real little bug never flies your way. That heavy, heavy button is always there to stay. If you're a good soldier, it'll cost you your life. Go east, go east.
One of the most impressive things about all of this is that it's not just this stand that is standing. The whole stadium is on their feet.
Go east, young man. Well, that's my advice. Go east, go east, go east. Kingdom down, and after all of that, you're still stuck in this old town. What you gain and what you lost now.
The best fans in the league. It's always exciting to play in front of them, and they're a huge part of our squad. So hopefully we can keep making them proud.
They've been good all year, and hopefully we can give them 2 more games at home.
It's crazy to think that only 20 minutes ago, every single available seat in this incredible stadium was occupied. Well, we say occupied, but everyone was on their feet. Despite the fact that the result, yes, ended 0-0, this was one of the best experiences that I have been part of. It's so inclusive, it's so mixed. From the Latino female capos to the Filipino drummers, everyone who makes up the incredibly diverse Seattle, the incredibly diverse USA, was here giving their 110%. There's that running joke all around the world that Americans, well, they don't really get football. Well, I can tell you that standing amongst those 40,000, all clad in green and blue, underneath those 6-foot flags and banners, and amongst those call and response chants that they do, that the United States and especially Seattle, they get it, and they're doing it their own way.